Breaking: Nnamdi Kanu vows to remain in detention for life unless. Announced to the news info, the Genius Media Nigeria reports that Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra (IPOB), on Saturday said he is prepared to remain in detention all his life until a proper and impartial judge handles his matter. Yes, so he has said he doesn't want that woman again. So they should give him another judge, or better still, bring the matter back to his jurisdiction, his region, rather than Abuja. Abi, yes, if it's going to remain there, it's better than leaving it to a judge that is not trusted. Kanu alleged a serious executive and judicial fraud being perpetrated against him since 2021, when he was extraordinarily renditioned. The IPOB leader claimed that his matter is deliberately being shielded from judges and justices who can deliver impartial judgments that may lead to the federal government losing in court. Kanu is currently facing trial before Justice Binta Nyako of the Abuja Federal High Court on terrorism-related charges. He has been detained since 2021, when he was subjected to extraordinary rendition from Kenya to Nigeria. Since his return to Nigeria, the appeal court in Abuja had discharged and acquitted him of all charges against him. Yes, so they've discharged and acquitted him, but despite that, DSS still held him in custody. Despite the ruling, the Nigerian government has refused to grant Kanu freedom. Meanwhile, there has been some back and forth with Justice Nyako over the handling of this matter. In 2024, Kanu had challenged Nyako to step down from his trial because he lacked confidence in her judgments. Responding, the judge recused herself, but the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, John Soho, insisted that she should continue with the matter. Last week, Justice Nyako adjourned the matter indefinitely. However, in an open letter he personally signed, Kanu said, "I have been compelled by the events of the past few days to take the unusual step of writing this open letter for the singular purpose of calling the attention of the general public to the serial executive and judicial fraud being perpetrated against me since my extraordinary rendition in 2021. The details are as follows. In a judgment entered on 1st March 2017, the Federal High Court Abuja ruled that the IPOB is not an unlawful group. At the time, it received widespread publicity which can be verified. This landmark ruling, made by the court before it turned unjust, emanated in a criminal proceeding that required proof beyond reasonable doubt, and in which the federal government and my humble self presented our respective cases. Alas, instead of the federal government to go on appeal as the law mandated, if they are dissatisfied with the judgment, the former Attorney General Abubakar Malami went behind closed doors with a letter signed by late Abba Kyari and got IPOB proscribed, tagged a terrorist group in an ex parte proceedings conducted without notice to me or to the IPOB. Can you imagine that? This abominable incident was the earliest sign yet that the government and its judiciary have struck an unholy and fraudulent alliance to deny me my rights and thereby imperil the lives and liberty of millions who identify with IPOB. On 26th of October 2022, a federal high court declared my extraordinary rendition and detention as unconstitutional, stating that the manner of arrest and detention of the applicant, Nnamdi Kanu, in Kenya, his continued detention in Abuja, his subjection to physical and mental trauma by the respondent, the inhuman and degrading treatment meted out to the applicant amounts to a brazen violation of the applicant's fundamental right to dignity of his person and threat to life under Section 31, subsection 1A of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended. The court further ordered the federal government to apologize to me and pay me compensation. In a responsible and a well-ordered society run by a responsible government, this judgment is sufficient to have ended my lengthy detention and encourage the federal government to constructively engage me on the issue of self-determination, agitation that triggered this whole saga. Abi, people have, that's what that other person said, be diplomatic. If you were diplomatic enough, people can constructively engage him and try to, okay, don't agitate again. We are going to see to it that, we don't marginalize the evils again. We try and include you people. At least be diplomatic about it, exactly. Further back to 13th October 2022, when the Court of Appeal held that the court must never shy away from calling the executive to order when they resort to acts of executive lawlessness. The duty of the court is to maintain a balance between ensuring that law and order is obeyed and the protection of the individual from oppressive actions by the executive. By the forcible abduction and extraordinary rendition of the appellant, Nnamdi Kanu, from Kenya to this country on the 27th day of June 2021 in violation of international and state laws, the lower court, or indeed any court in this country, is divested of jurisdiction to entertain charges against the appellant. Despite the clarity of this judgment and its comportment with reason, the federal government refused to release me from detention while it went behind closed doors and connived with 3 other justices of the Court of Appeal who fraudulently and swiftly sat on appeal over the judgment and practically destroyed it by issuing what they termed as a stay of execution. One may then ask, is it not abominable for a court to stay a judgment the government already disobeyed? In a plethora of cases, the Supreme Court has held that anybody who disobeyed a related court order cannot be given any judicial relief until such order is obeyed. This is sound reasoning that applies to everybody, but is fraudulently overlooked when it comes to my case. Exactly. Why are they really doing that? It is well. Fast forward to 15 December 2023, when the Supreme Court sent back my case to the Federal High Court for trial for avoidance of doubt. That was not the only decision the Supreme Court made. It also decided that my bail should not have been revoked, and it went on to state clearly that the judge exhibited significant and unacceptable bias by revoking my bail. In a sane society, one would expect that the High Court received my case from the Supreme Court and hankered down for a trial. It was also duty-bound to restore my bail in line with the pronouncement of the Apex Court, but they did not do that. Why? Well, your guess is as good as mine, and that is, the court connived with the federal government to continue my detention in violation of Section 287 of the Nigerian Constitution, while they plotted to railroad me through an unfair trial that already has predetermined verdicts. To conclude this open letter, let me make it clear that it should in no way be construed to mean that there are no decent judges in Nigeria. Of course, we know that there are some decent judges, but probably like 10% that can be trusted to deliver even-handed justice. In my case, that is not the issue. Instead, the issue is that my case is deliberately being shielded from judges and justices that are deemed to be committed to doing justice, even when it means that the federal government must lose. Be that as it may, if it will take the rest of my life in detention to produce me before a proper and impartial court, so be it. But let me say this for the world to know. I will not succumb to any trial conducted by any judge or court whose jurisdiction does not pass constitutional muster, not now, not ever. Well, even if he is in DSS custody, he has his rights, and that is why it is good to know your rights. He said he doesn't want that judge. He doesn't want that judge. Get him another judge that would not be corrupt, that would not judge in favor of the federal government because, they are the federal government. I should do that for him, Abi, and release this man. I don't really understand. This is all. My listeners, over to you. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, to share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.